It's episode 2, the best CRM setup for service businesses. The only pipeline you actually need. Picture this. Tuesday, 7:42 in the morning. Your phone rang 3 times. Nobody answered it. Your property manager filled out your website form, requesting for a job, obviously. And your VA, who logs in at 8 a.m., texted back. Your dispatcher wrote the address in Slack. Your technician got half the info in the group chat. The estimate is somewhere in the email. The invoice is still in the accounting. The tenant of that property manager is now texting, "Are you still coming?" And your technician is outside the wrong house because somebody fat fingered a unit number. God damn. And now the owner is doing what every owner does, digging through texts, call logs, screenshot, sticky notes, and one random note says, "Mr. Rodriguez, urgent, dog, gate." That is not a CRM setup. That is a hostage situation with office chair. Here's the truth. Most service businesses do not need a galaxy brain with 47-stage pipeline built by a guy who watched 2 HubSpot video and think it's NASA. You just need one. Just one pipeline. Not one for leads, one for estimate, one for job, one for install, one for payment, blah, 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 one for Steve. That is not a system. That's just a landfill with logged in. So in this video, I'm going to give you the only pipeline I think most US service businesses actually need. From plumbing, HVAC, electrical, cleaning, landscaping, swimming pool, pest control, appliance repair, pool service, and the whole circus. By the end of this, you'll know exactly how to set it up, who owns each stage, what lives in the CRM, what your VA should touch daily, and how to stop your office from running on vibes, panic, and "I thought somebody handled it." Sounds familiar, right? Okay, moving on. So let me tell you what the bad CRM setup really costs. It doesn't cost organization. It costs booked revenue. It costs first-time fix rate. It costs tech efficiency. It costs approval speed. It costs cash flow. It costs your sanity. And eventually, it costs bad review. So you're going to go there, bad mood. Now, here's what happened in the real world. Mislead doesn't just disappear. It usually turns into a book job for another company that answered first. A bad stage setup doesn't just look ugly. It hides stalled estimates, unconfirmed job, unset invoices, unpaid balances, and callback that should have been obvious. A weak handoff doesn't just annoy the office, it sends technicians blind. And a tech shows up and says, "What am I even doing here? Did they approve this? Do we have parts? Is this warranty? Who coded this? Why is there previous notes?" Beautiful. Very helpful. Pulitzer level documentation. Nobel Prize maybe. Okay. Moving on. With more than 10 years of experience, here's one thing I noticed. When the CRM is bad, guess what? The owner becomes the fallback system. 100%. The owner becomes the memory. The owner becomes the exception board. The owner becomes the escalation desk. The owner becomes the human search bar. The owner becomes the MacGyver of everything. I'm not sure if you're a 90s kid, if you watch MacGyver, man, it's like a Swiss Army knife. That's why broad topics like CRM setup are not software topics. They're margin topics. Because if your pipeline is wrong, you get all the classics. Urgent jobs that were never qualified. That's one. Estimates that rot for 12 days because nobody owns follow-up. Who cares? Technician driving across town for work that was never approved. Customers fighting invoices because the scope changed and nobody documented it. Return visits that were really bad. Closeout notes wearing a fake mustache. Let's be honest. Have you opened your CRM and have you ever asked, why do we have 29 stages and somehow none of them could tell what to do next. Let's move on. Operator mindset shift. Here's a new mindset shift. A CRM is not there to store activity. A CRM is there to control movement. That's the difference. Most service companies use their CRM like a junk drawer. Don't. Instead, use it like a conveyor belt. All the operator rule, if the stage doesn't tell me what changes or who owns it and what happens next, it's not a stage, it's just a decoration. And this is where people screw it up. They build stages around emotions and exemptions. Waiting on parts, need permit, customer thinking, left invoice, technicians maybe going tomorrow or maybe next Tuesday, call back later, spoke to husband. No, those are tasks, tags, notes, and sub statuses. Your pipeline stages should represent three things. I know there can be a lot, but at this part, 3 stages that it should represent: commercial movement, revenue movement, and business movement. So here's the only pipeline I actually need for most service businesses. You could watch the episode 1 here or here. New customer, existing customer goes to new lead, new work requests, and then acquire information, goes triage in here, site plan, send estimate, create new job, new schedule, reschedule, dispatch, in progress, job complete, phase project, invoice, collect, paid, progress billing, recall, warranty, won, lost, cancel. Watch the episode 1. We've discussed like 4 or 5 hours, everything on this one. Okay. So that is your operating system. Everything else is a tag, task, or field. High priority is a tag. Needs permit is a field. Parts ordered is a sub status. Membership customer, it's a tag. Return visit required, that's a task. Commercial net 30 is a billing term. Caesar have a new tattoo on his forehead, that's a note. Do not turn every exception into a stage. That's how people end up with a pipeline that looks like a Home Depot receipt. You know what? A lot of software can support this. Maybe you just don't know, or maybe you haven't fully utilized your software, or, you just don't know yet. But we're going to help you out. So the question is not what software is best. The real question is, what's the cleanest pipeline I can enforce without my team treating it like a suggestion? Okay. All right. Okay, let's move on with the system workflow. Step 1, intake everything the same way. Step 1 is intake, obviously. Not chaos intake, not whoever grabs it, not when Maria knows what they meant. Actual intake. Here's what I want captured before the lead leaves intake. Customer name, service address, best phone and email, service category, residential or commercial. Short problem summary, make it long if not short. Photos and videos if applicable. Equipment, work fixture type if known. Access details, the basics. Right? Gate, pets, tenant, lockbox, parking. Preferred time window. If possible, make your own schedule, not the customer's preferred schedule, because it might not meet with your own schedule. Lead source, consent for text and email communication. Is this estimate, service call, warranty, or emergency? Okay. Who owns this? Your VA and CSR. Where it lives in the CRM. Contact record, lead source field, service type field, priority field, consent field, internal notes, attachment, photo section. Okay, guys. If you want this to work, you need to implement a strict SOP, standard operating procedure. 1, answer live call fast. Really, really fast. Really motherfucking fast. Return missed call within 5 minutes during business hours. 5 minutes. Not 6, not 7. Return call within the next 5 minutes. 3rd, if it comes after hour, first call back next morning. Even if it's Saturday. If you have a VA for Saturday shift, so let it be. You work it out. Send a confirmation text or email right after booking or triage. No unworked new lead sits untouched for more than 15 minutes during open hours. 15 minutes. That's it. Because the biggest lie in a small service business is, we'll get back to them later. Your VA uses it. Your technician uses it. You, the owner, uses it. We'll get back to them later. Yeah. Right after they hire your competitor. Here are 4 best CRM that I think that I've seen in some owners that I've worked with for the past years. These are like the common denominator. This is what I could recommend. In a stage where you acquire informations of customers, these are 4 beautiful CRM that I think is really effective and could really work, and you could automate stuff, especially go high level as well. So yeah. Quick question. How many leads in your business right now are not actually lost? They're just sitting there because nobody owns the first follow-up. Nobody gave a fuck. Call back. Right? Step 2. Step 2, triage before you schedule, not after you already screw it up. This is where grown businesses separates themselves from clown shows. Not every lead should go straight to the calendar. Keep that in mind, okay? Some need a service call. Some need an estimate. Some need a site visit. Some need a photo review first. Some need a deposit. Some need permit. Some need a hard no or a Karen no. If you schedule too early, you pollute your calendar with junk. So who owns this? Your VA, your CSR, for standard service leads. Your dispatcher, or you as the owner, or if you have an operations manager, you could handle the complex job, replacement work, commercial, or anything that, something that smells expensive. Okay. Here is the non-negotiable rule. Estimate does not belong in scheduled until customer approves it. Obviously, you don't create job order, then scheduled until they approve it. Not, they sounded interested. Not, I think they'll do it. Not, put them on Thursday and I'll probably just confirm it later on when I get home. That's how dead job sits on board like roadkill. You know what? When somebody asks me, dude, what's the best CRM setup? You know what I'd say? The best CRM setup is the one that prevents unapproved work from touching the schedule. That's it. Just don't pollute your calendar. I guess that's the first stage. Okay, step 3, schedule only approved work and dispatch like a real company. Now we hit a stage everybody loves to romanticize. Scheduling, baby. Because every office thinks they're busy when their calendar's full. Busy is not the same as organized. Okay? A crowded calendar is not a proof of operational maturity. Sometimes it's just a proof nobody can say no. Or they just don't give a fuck. Once the customer approves the estimate, you create the job order, confirm first with the customer, then schedule. Okay? That means work is real. Not probable, not hopeful. Hope is not a business plan, but real workflow. Now, once it's unscheduled, it moves to dispatch or on the way only when the technician is assigned and rolling. That separation matters. Scheduled means date and window. Dispatch means body, truck, route, ETA. There can be a lot, depending who you're dispatching. If you're sending Batman. Okay, who owns this? Of course, dispatch or your VA. Guys, you need to implement this SOP to your dispatcher really, really hard. I mean, don't be hard on them, but the SOP, the protocol, you have to really implement that super hard. Okay, confirm tomorrow's jobs the day before. Or you know what? 72 hours before, 3 days before. If you could. A week before, if you could, depending on your niche, depending how big your operations is, depending on how big your project is. Yeah. Second, morning jobs confirmed before end of prior business day. ETA update when tech is en route. Call the customer, please. If late more than 20 minutes, customer gets an update. If customer no-show or access fails, document it immediately and trigger next action before the tech leaves the driveway. Immediately. Not after lunch, not later tonight, right then. Okay, one of the software that I could recommend here is Service Fusion. Really great on this. So yeah, Household Pro, Service Titan. You know what? Service Fusion and Household Pro on this station here. So yeah, let me ask you this. How many scheduling problems in your calendar right now are really approval problems and documentation problems just wearing a fake dispatch hat? You know what? If your technician discovers the locked gate, the aggressive dog, the tenant who I didn't know you were coming, or the fact that it's actually the back building behind the back building of the back building of the back building, your CRM did not dispatch a technician. You just gave him a field trip for that day. Okay. Step 4, close out the job or don't pretend it's complete. Now we get to the stage where money leaks out of the building. Job complete or pending closeout. This stage is not done. This stage is technician says done, office still needs proof. Job is not allowed to become invoiced until your closeout standard is met. My documentation standard is brutally simple. Every closed job should answer, what was the problem? What did we find? What did we do? What parts of material did we use? What did the customer approve or decline? What should happen next? What proof do we have? That's it. Not fixed issue. I swear. Some tech notes sounds like they were written by a suspect. Now the money rule, baby. Residential COD work gets invoice same day. Small commercial gets invoice same day unless terms say otherwise. I'm not sure if you gave, those small property manager net 14, net 30. Larger commercial follows its contract term. Again, if you gave net 30, net 40, net 60, whatever, it's up to you. But the stage still moves to invoice when invoice is sent, not when you mean to send it out. Just, if it's not invoiced, it's not done. I don't care how tired everybody is. I don't care if it's Friday, 5:59 p.m. Don't care if the sun is setting. Don't care if the office is slammed. Send the invoice. Okay, moving on to the virtual assistant slide. Daily, weekly, monthly. Let me make this crystal clear. Your VA, your virtual assistant, or your CSR, or your customer service representative, is not just there to help out. They own movement. I know you've seen this slide from the previous episode. If not, check the episode 1 here, somewhere here, in this link here. Let's talk about Mermaid and Happy. So this is the best slide that I think that would really explain, how things work and how you could picture it out, right? Depending on the size of your operation. Okay, so daily, what I want them doing this: clear all new leads, return missed call, chase approval older than 24 hours. 24 hours. I think one of you guys are having or chasing approval for the past 2 weeks. This should be 24 hours. Next one. Confirm tomorrow's schedule. QA a sample of completed job for missing notes, photos, signatures, and invoice status. Trigger payment follow-up on past due accounts. Update stalled record so nothing dies in, we'll handle it later. Weekly. Okay. Weekly, this could be handled by Mermaid or Happy. Okay. So, review close lost reason. Review no sale estimate. Review unscheduled approved work. Review past due invoices by age bucket. Pull callback patterns by tag and the job type. Spot check call quality and intake accuracy. Okay. monthly. This could be handled by Happy or with a little assistance from Mermaid, or if you have bigger operations, you may have a third VA or an operations manager handling this, or an accountant. So monthly, audit pipeline stage count, clean duplicate contact, review lead source performance, review average days in waiting on approval, review average days from job complete to invoice, review average days from invoice to paid. Okay, I'm going to keep this simple. We document every step in the CRM so you know what was requested, what was approved, what was scheduled, and what was done. That's how we keep the jobs from turning into arguments. Before you put anything on the calendar, you need the rightful, complete details. Service businesses lose money, tons of money, when they schedule first and think second. I'm not doing that. Guys, we don't schedule coded work on hope. Once you approve the estimate, we lock the date. Until then, it stays on approval so nothing gets missed and nothing gets promised by accident. Okay? If the scope changes, paperwork changes. That protects you and it protects us, and we're not doing surprise work and we're pretending everybody should magically agree on the bill. No. Guys, rule is simple. If it's not in the CRM, it didn't happen. It should have photos, notes, parts used, what the customer approved, and what they declined. Fixed issue is not a note. That's laziness with a punctuation and a little bit of stupidity. We give customers a real service window, not fantasy. If the tech is delayed, we update the customer. Simple. If access fails, we document it immediately and move to the next action. We do not let the whole board melt because one job went sideways. Here's exactly what happens next. You'll get confirmation. Then you'll get a reminder. And when the tech is on its way, you'll get the update too. No guessing, no phone tag, no smoking signal. Just simple as it is. Guys, we invoice when the work is complete, not whenever somebody's in the office catches their breath. Fast invoicing is not aggressive. It's just professional. Protocol. That's it. That's how you work. That's how you execute things. Okay? You know those line, just checking in, your invoice still open, and if there's a paperwork issue, tell us now and we'll fix it. If there isn't, let's get it closed today. Are you going to send these messages? No. Call them. Or, yeah, sure, text them. Or email them properly. But not this line. It's overly used. It's overly saturated. It's like everyone is using this. Just chat GPT it. Okay. Guys, your memory is not a system. Okay, you got a big brain. Awesome. But it's not a system. Your group chat is not a system. Your Slack, that is not a system. Your sticky note is definitely not a system as well. Your CRM is a system, but not the whole operational system. Just one part of the machine. Okay, so stick to that. Let me ask you this. Have you ever had a customer fight a bill? And when you look at the record, you realize your company had basically brought a spoon to a gunfight? Okay. Almost done. Always rules, never rules if then. Okay. Always move a record based on what changed in the business, not based on somebody's mood. I don't care about your mood. This is business. Follow protocols, right? Always require the same core intake fields before a lead leaves new lead. Okay? Always close the loop from field completion to invoice to payment fast. Really fast. Here's my never rule. Never create a new stage just because your team hit one weird exception. Like, what the fuck? Never put quoted work on the schedule before approval, deposit, or required paperwork. Never let job notes live only in text, DMs, or somebody's head. Okay, here's my if-then rules. If a lead is untouched for more than 15 minutes during business hours, then it gets escalated right away. Why nobody fucking touch that lead for 15 minutes? If scope or if there are any price changes, then the change order gets documented before more work happens. Okay? If an invoice goes past terms, then follow-up starts automatically and non-emergency future work can be paused until the account is addressed properly. Now, the big mistake. Mistake 1. Too many stages. Right? What it costs. Nobody updates them. Report becomes fiction. Owner stops trusting the board. What to do instead? Well, use stages only for revenue movement. Use tags, task, and fields for if there's an exception. Real exceptions. Not weird stuff, whatever. Okay? Mistake 2. No mandatory field at intake. What it costs? Bad dispatch. More callbacks. More windshield time. Lower close rate. Office confusion. What to do instead? Force the basics. Address, service type, access note, sources, consent, and real problem summary shit. Mistake 3. Scheduling before approval. You know what it costs? Ghost jobs on calendar. Dead air on dispatch board. Customer who thought about it while your crew was already planned around him. Man. You thought she was your girlfriend? Dude, you were just on friend zone, baby. What to do instead? Approval stage first, schedule second, like boyfriend, girlfriend. Like adults, right? Mistake 4, calling a job complete before the record is complete. You know what it costs? Billing fights, warranty confusion, no proof, no learning, same fucking mistake next month. And next month, guess what? And next year. What to do instead? No closeout, no invoice, no done. Is that a correct English thing? No closeout, no invoice, no done. Let me add one more. Okay. Mistake 5, buying the wrong software for your size and pain. You don't buy a 30,000 square meter mansion with just you and your wife and 2 dogs. Okay, you know what it costs? Overpaying for debt you don't use, or underbuying and duct taping everything with spreadsheet and profanity. Oh, I got a new fucking software. All right, champ, what am I gonna do with that? What to do instead? Pick based on where your bottleneck is. What is your problem? You know what? If you're having a problem, which software to choose, email us in the description below. Okay, what I could recommend here, Service Titan, Service Fusion, and Household Pro. Yeah. Okay, let's wrap it up. This is the only pipeline you actually need. 1 clean entry point for every lead, 1 approval gate before real fucking scheduling, 1 dispatch move when a real tech is actually rolling, 1 closeout standard before invoicing, and 1 money path from invoice to paid. That's it. Not 100 fucking stages and voodoo whatever. Not 10 apps pretending to be a process with your money.com with blah, 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 blah. I like money.com. Don't get me wrong. It's just one of the things that, some customers like fancy about a lot of things. Dude, you don't need 100 stage. Look for episode 1 somewhere here. There's no secret sauce to this. It's just 1 pipeline. You just have to stick on it. What works on you? If you don't know what works on you or what software to choose, let us know in the description below. We're going to help you out. We're going to give you a free audit. I'm going to check out how your operation works. We're going to audit it, and we're going to implement which CRM is better for you. Okay. And what would make you more money. Don't believe in those business guru shit giving you business advice. They don't even know how to operate shit. Okay, the next one is the 3rd episode. Missed calls are killing you. How to build and never miss a lead intake system. That's where a ton of service companies quietly bleed money while acting busy. Okay. Ciao for now.